Video number 2 was posted February 20th, 2018, and currently stands at 31 million views. We begin episode number 2 with some very tasteful slow dance music from the Queen Mary's heyday. I'll give this to Shane, he does know how to set the mood.
It's real! The cinematic look is real!
Oh my god, that's so big. Do you think that's what people say when they see me in public?
Never mind. We then get some more. It's 2011 and I just learned how to use a digital camera montage sequence, and I emphasize this and make a big deal about it because Shane has considered himself a filmmaker. He has been involved in doing his own short film back in 2014, I think it was. He considers a lot of the documentaries, he does documentaries when I don't think he uses a tripod once. And as someone who has to prove his filmmaking abilities, to see someone who has all the money and resources in the world to make his dreams come true, like the horror films that he's been talking about doing for the past few years, I'm a little salty.
I feel like the old lady in Titanic.
You are the old lady in Titanic.
And reference number 2 to Titanic.
Is everyone panicking?
Ooh, there's valet, yeah.
Wait, where? Hi.
So
Hi, we're boarding.
Well, that killed the mood fast. They make some more pro-so humor to their young, impressionable audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't this exciting? True. You like this boat? Ship. Oh, yes, ship.
Please correct him.
Ooh, if I turned around and you weren't there, you were a ghost? Wouldn't that be crazy?
No, that would be bad.
That's cool.
Not spoiled big-name YouTube celebrities making a mockery of the platform again by hassling workers who are just trying to do their job. Okay, backtracking here just a little bit. At least Garrett is being nice and hospitable toward the hotel employee. It's just overall the camera and the silly, intrusive antics of the entire group that I'm referring to here. Watching this back, you notice Garrett has a lot of nice things to say throughout, and I gotta give him credit for that. Doesn't excuse some of his irresponsible behavior and lazy prep in this series, though, to be perfectly honest. I just thought I'd give him a little bit of credit.
Who wants this?
No, please, they're bringing the baby doll back again. I'll say it again and again. It's just creepy and weird.
Oh my god, I am so scared.
So Shane has been widely criticized for his different personas. He has his adorable, look at me, no, like, I'm the center of attention persona, his dramatic, empathic love for everyone around him persona, and his overly excited, expressive persona, where everything has to be super exaggerated.
Oh my god. This is 10 times scarier than the Stanley Hotel to me. Oh my god,
And this is something that's very important to bring up because we're going to see it a lot throughout the rest of the series on board the ship.
I don't feel creepy at all.
Well, wait until you step on the Queen Mary.
He's also a non-believer.
What do you think?
I can't tell just yet.
Are you serious?
So far, Ryland seems to be the only helpful commentator in this entire series.
Oh my god, there's a Princess Diana display.
I wonder if she's been here. So, did we get one of these first-class staterooms or what, Shane?
I thank you, Ryland. Someone who appreciates the beautiful architecture of a bygone era, if I'm reading his expression right. And finally, they meet us where we are currently located now, the B-deck entrance, which used to be the first-class entrance for first-class passengers.
Oh my god, it's Titanic. I'm gonna cry. Whoa. Oh my god. Wait, I wanna do the thing. That's so funny. And then my whole family died.
Is that cool? It is.
Ship of dreams.
Can we all just appreciate the Titanic for her design and her time period, and appreciate the Queen Mary for her design and her time period? They're both very beautiful and unique ships in their own way, and I think they should be appreciated as such.
I am so scared.
You and me both, Shane.
I'm actually scared. I don't think they understand how genuinely haunted this is. Like, I know they're laughing, but it's up.
I believe you, Dad.
There's the entrance. This is crazy.
See what I mean about all these empty buzzwords and overhyped expressions they're using about everything? This series alone made Shane a lot of money in ad sales, and they couldn't go through the effort of gathering just a little bit of information, a little bit of fun facts to help viewers enjoy the experience a little better, and maybe even hype up the purpose of this series altogether. For example, a lot of what on board is extinct. Did you know that? That's interesting to point out. Extinct means not here anymore, means haunted potentially, haunted wood. But why not point out the beautiful Art Deco, Art Nouveau architecture while you're at it? The ship also has something that most modern ships don't have. It's called sheer, and it's what gives the corridors the spooky liminal look that makes it so creepy. Sheer also helps with hydrodynamics and to lessen friction, especially when it gets really rough out at sea. Also, this series isn't one of your documentaries, Shane, but you could have done a little bit more in your efforts to make it look really cool. Like using a tripod, for example. I'm not going to say my framing here is Oscar-worthy, but at least I put some effort into what I was going to show. I'm using a tripod, and I'm really weary about using a tripod because I don't want to get in people's way once I'm actually using this. But Shane has an entire crew, so he has more than enough opportunity to get a little artsy. Aren't you something of an expert in the horror genre, Shane? I'd say this is right up your alley.
They have merch.
Why is their merch better than mine?
Hey, something nice said about this ship. Imagine that. It's about the merch and not the ship itself, but we're making progress.
I'm gonna live here. I want to buy a room here.
Okay, so let's be real. I know this isn't educational content, not by any means. It's, in fact, manufactured reactionary content catered to a young audience that's probably supposed to bring a sense of hanging out with friends, right? That's probably what they're trying to do here. But like, you could still make youth-oriented content and reactionary content and still have quality video to show. Like what Mysteries did in the 80s, like what the Travel Channel did in 2004, and even what Zach Bagans has done on Ghost Adventures, which happens to be on Travel Channel, by the way.
Ew, not always. It looks horrifying.
Okay, let's look at the original lighting. Really sad, right? Really unfortunate. Let's look at the lighting that they have installed recently. Beautiful, right? So warm and cozy. And that goes the same for the carpeting. So sad. So very sad. But look at it now.
Look at those doors. Everything's scary.
Ugh, not that ugly black tiling that was probably put in the late 80s or early 90s. I thought this was the Queen Mary, not a Carnival Cruise Line fantasy class fun ship.
Oh my god. This is 10 times scarier than the Stanley Hotel to me.
Okay. Could you explain a little bit though? I just don't connect what you're saying to what I'm actually seeing. And Shane Dawson has been notorious for doing just this kind of thing. I mean, it's pretty drab, tired, mismatched. Thank you, old management. This is the lazy content that I'm talking about. Not Shane and intense foreboding music goes with the big band roll of the ship's sound system.
What do you think?
I can't tell just yet.
As far as I'm concerned, Ryland is saying what we're all thinking. The hotel employee proceeds to explain to them what she probably explains to everyone who asks about the mysterious woman in brown.
Oh, I'm so self-conscious.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wear all my clothes.
Yeah.
So, are you in the room with the two bed? You were quarantined there. And there is a list of everybody that passed away on the ship.
Can we go in the isolation room? Anyone can?
Wait, what?
I get the pitch. Do you get
That crazy?
Well, I'm sure convinced. And again, with that rickety vlog style format, and super baseline vlog style at that. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I just got a camera with digital zoom, and I just went everywhere with the zoom in, zoom out feature to the point where Dad had to tell me to slow down.
Slow, slow. You just moved that camera so fast. Go slow.
scan around very slow around the whole room, very slow. You know, so you get a picture of it.
There's our complimentary photograph.
Way too fast, Matthew.
Even his, at the time, widely acclaimed Jeffree Star expose documentary series had no intention of using any sense of filmmaking, let alone a tripod. Right now we see them in the original first class A-deck entrance, which I'd say they did a fairly good job of turning into a sort of lounge area, but we can do a lot better, can't we, management?
The isolation room, which is where people would get isolated, either sick, that they died there. You need to go through there.
Okay, to be perfectly fair, the isolation ward has always been a very scary and eerie place for me. It always feels like someone's watching you, and I don't know if that has to do with the color scheme and, well, obviously the history behind what has probably happened down there.
Actually. So where's an elevator or something?
Probably out.
I can't, the lighting is so bad.
What is this? Why is this available for me to literally... Oh my god, I just opened it.
Okay, so she actually does make a very good observation here about the way the ship was treated prior to, 2021. You shouldn't be able to open up that historical and still used fire hydrant hose thing. It has its original Bakelite handle and everything. Show a little bit of respect, former management.
Oh. Maybe people are supposed to be able to open it then? I don't know. Can't open that one. Oh, this one's missing its handle.
Right, you'll see the letters, right?
Okay, calm down, Shane. Calm down, just a little bit, alright? One long or following another shorter cord. Kind of mysterious, especially when you haven't done any research ahead of time. And the depressing blue, 64 Kelvin lighting isn't helping anything at all either. But it's just a little labored, okay? Hey! Hey!
It's just people watching TV.
Lols. Seriously though, not the worst joke in the world.
Sorry.
That's okay, guys.
Oh no.
Yes, come in. No. This is terrifying. This actually feels...
Okay.
It stinks.
This is 10 times worse than the Stanley Hotel.
Oh my god.
What is that? What is that? Wait, I want to taste history.
Ew. No, don't. You're gonna get so sick.
Okay. As much as I hate saying this, Ryland does have a point. Back in 2018, things weren't maintained super well. And where does dust like to accumulate the most? Dust and grime? The elevator. It probably did smell funny, unfortunately. The Queen Mary was once known as the ship of beautiful woods. And when this wood isn't properly maintained, it creates a dusty, musty kind of aroma to it. Something that is very gradually being ameliorated as things get polished up. And it becomes more like a 5-star 1936 hotel where you still get the beautiful aroma of all the exotic woods on board, some of which, have I mentioned, are extinct. And concerning the elevator, I understand it smelled not nice, no doubt, but they could have said something about the beautiful craftsmanship that you just don't get anymore in modern hotels, no matter what hotel it may be. If it's not historic, that is.
We're going to a room called the Duke of Edinburgh.
Now again, we are on B deck aft, while the Duke of Edinburgh suite is on main deck.
So we had a contact here, Shane, that set us up in one of the scariest rooms here. M114.
It is currently room M114, but back in the ship's sailor day, it was M70. But the Long Beach conversion changed a lot of the room numbers, so you're you're definitely not going to get the same room number as you would get in the past.
Here it is. Duke of Edinburgh suite.
Ew. My god.
Ew, do this. Ew, ew. Oh my god, that's just so scary. Do that. Just don't listen. Just listen to that vent.
I know, it looks like a death chamber.
No, that's true. Vents are very drafty.
I feel more scared. Like my body just feels a little overwhelmed.
Okay, so I do not blame Morgan's reaction at all here. When you're entering an unfamiliar space, let alone an unfamiliar historic place, it's going to be overwhelming. And it doesn't help if the decor doesn't match up. You have all these clashing everything, right? It's one reason why we preserve places like this. It takes us out of our now and brings us into a time and place that can enrich and enlighten us. Back then, when she was ill-maintained, you had that extra layer of grime that was overwhelming. We also have the rules of interior design, and interior design itself messed with here. Bad lighting does things to your psyche, clashing patterns and features messes with you too. Like this awful carpeting. Did I mention the awful carpeting? The original linoleum/corkoid floors on board the Queen Mary was built with beautiful leading lines that directed the eye to special focal points and spaces. Current management is very gradually bringing back the originally intended design elements to the ship though, so we have a lot to hope for.
Ew. That door's...
Wait, what is this? Is this the room?
Ew, that's Wait, is that the maid's quarters?
That's my literal nightmare.
In the 1930s in particular, many first-class passengers still had maids and so had a specific stateroom dedicated to them. And in my opinion, I think it's pretty nice and still holds up today.
Wait, come look at this. Come here.
And while I do, at least to some degree, understand Shane's reaction, it's still really over-dramatized. Like, calm down, Shane. And that goes the same for the music in the background.
This is too big. Oh,
What's going on?
Ew.
We can't read it at the same time.
What's happening?
And then they go on and on, overreacting about the creepiness of the room, although those flickering lights are pretty concerning, and I think an electrician is in order.
What is that? What is that?
Okay, so that's actually not too bad of a reaction, or a question. Before central air was normalized in the 1960s, central air, on a ship at least, was brought through air vents up on the deck. And these very high-end and clever units were designed to allow air to come in or not, depending on passenger needs, from the top decks. So my already cheap lav mic failed me, and some vent unit thing detectable only to my camera for some reason turned on, and made sound even more difficult to fix in post. So here we are again. Cabin suite, second class cabin. I gotta say though, I just received this beautiful second, third class cup and saucer to more accurately complement my second class dresser here that came off the Queen Mary when she arrived in Long Beach. They butchered that poor ship up so very much, but that's for a different video. In the meantime, just look at this craftsmanship. They really took every effort to make everything so beautiful on board the Queen Mary. Let's bring that back.
This is my dream environment. Come look at this. Look at how big this room is.
Ew. I'm not trying to sleep here.
I love it.
To be fair, Ryland, I'm not too entirely hurt. I get it. This was 2018. I get where you're coming from. Still, you have Garrett being super positive, talking about how big and cool the room is, while Ryland is acting like it's the questionably abandoned mid-century hotel a few miles from the Orange Circle. Still, I get it. After all the mustiness you've endured and the lack of proper and original decor layout to highlight the truly beautiful aspects of the stateroom and an iconic suite, nonetheless, I don't completely blame you.
What's this?
I'm taking a
But
shower.
honestly, you should come look in here. It's so creepy.
Ew.
No, look at the flush thing. Oh my god.
I'm gonna live on the Queen Mary.
Me too.
This is... Whoa!
Who did that?
Who turned the light off?
I swear
The
to God,
flusher
I
is
didn't do
so weird.
Wait, I didn't do that.
Actually, the bathrooms were very advanced in their day. The bathtub in my apartment takes something like 3 to more like 5 minutes to fill up and is far from full immersion, and my apartment unit was built in 1998. The Queen Mary debuted in the public in 1936, and it takes about 30 seconds for the tub to fill up to this day. Properly maintained, big emphasis there, appropriately updated and sympathetically decorated, guests can marvel at the beautiful high-end workmanship and longevity of this vintage bathroom with subsequent amenities.
What is this? Why is there so many rooms? How much is this?
It's not important, Shane.
Wait, what is that?
It's just a bunch of shelves, but it feels really weird.
Okay, not everything has to be weird, Morgan, especially without explanation, which they do a lot, you notice? They're just vintage wooden shelves, and beautifully scented ones, take it from me. And did I mention spacious ones at that?
Taking off? No, there was a weird noise.
It's like...
Do you not hear that?
It's almost like a...
I heard
It
screaming.
was like a squeak scream.
I
It was
heard
like
screaming. Ew.
What is that?
Oh my god! Oh, we're gonna die tonight.
Don't know why the portal was open, though. Someone forgot to shut it before new guests arrived? Or more than likely it's just staged, which, if so, makes the hotel workers look kind of bad. Which is not nice to do.
Probably another room.
Oh.
Okay, don't know what that's about. Confused about that, to be fair.
Oh, that's terrifying. There's a gem.
What is that?
Oh, it's a scale. I don't want to get on it. That's terrifying.
Okay, that was also funny. Point number 4 or 5 in this series?
There's a beetle or bug right here.
That's not... That's...
Ew.
Is that a cockroach?
No, he's good. He's
Are
good.
we
He's
staying
good.
where
He's good. He's good. Oh my god, we're yelping.
Okay. Yeah, that was a cockroach, and I sincerely doubt they planted it there. That's where past management allowed the ship to go. I don't blame their reaction at all. I was so shocked seeing this the first time I watched this video.
This is crazy. Now I know what
This is like a maze.
I will get lost, for sure.
Okay, so there are accounts on the maiden voyage in particular of people trying to find their way around because of how big and maze-like the ship was. So it's actually really cool to hear Morgan say that.
479 there.
Awful early 90s Best Western wallpaper that was cheap even when first installed.
Ooh, I hate this. Ooh.
I really can't wait to see what current management does on spaces like this to give people the true Queen Mary experience, if not in a more contemporary way for these more plain staterooms where there's not a whole lot of historical integrity to maintain.
I'm not just saying this for the video. It is getting harder to breathe, right?
Yes.
Well, I said my nose started running. Like, I'm literally stuffed up all
But
of a
that
sudden.
could be because we're underneath a boat, like. But my chest is like closing and my nose is like
Like my
closing and
throat
shit.
is like...
Okay, they might be exaggerating a bit, big shock, but that section of the ship was so musty, dusty back then. And even now, air quality is really good, has really improved, like 100%, but ventilation could be a whole lot better still. Like Shane said, they're in the lower enclosed portion of the ship where airflow isn't as prevailing and kind of should be. I don't know how they're going to figure that out, but they probably should.
It's like an unluxurious cruise.
Ew.
The other room it is.
This feels like prison.
No, we are not safe.
Speaking of sad, Ryland is right here, as it were, but the happy that she was known for during her sailing days are quickly returning back to the ship as we speak. So go take a visit, I promise you won't be disappointed. They and we, if my mic was working, are actually in the original second class section of the ship. Traditionally, third class was forward, first class mid, and second class aft in a kind of horizontal configuration. It's one reason why you don't see luxurious wall veneers in this area. But they uncovered and recovered the original checkered linoleum here, which they polished up just this year. I would love to see some semblance of the original class divisions to help make guests gain a better picture of how the dynamics worked aboard, so they can truly immerse themselves in the charming yesteryear experience that made her so famous and so beloved. Something she is still sorely missing. Okay, complementing the early 90s Motel 6 nature of the room is this piece of furniture that does not look original to the ship at all, so I approve. Or, wait a minute, what am I saying? It doesn't matter how shady, motel-y a space is, consequently. Just, come on, guys. Like, I hope I don't sound like a total square when I say this, but that's not a good look. Really doesn't age well, or send a positive message to your, again, largely young audience. It was you, Ryland. You were the responsible one. and now we got no one to look up to anymore. Is hope lost? Is the war over? Okay, hopefully that wasn't too cringe.
I need to pee.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Upon further inspection, that is one sad piece of maybe 1980s furniture bought at the Salvation Army. That's what they provided for guests on this section of B-Deck. The second class rooms were actually very quaint and cozy and charming for their simplicity. But if I didn't know what I know, I would guess from this image alone that they were in some seedy motel.
Does nobody care that this door just opens and closes by itself?
I'm hauntingly hungry. That is okay. Whoa, okay. Sorry. I've been goofing this video, but this area is scary.
No, it's just sad. Speaking of sad, we get some what looks to be very casual, lazy, goofy, exaggerated reactions with cheap, creepy music in the background, something new there. And this goes on for some time. The big topic here for a while in this video is a tapping that they hear in the closet. They each go in and see if they hear the tapping as well. I mean, I guess it'd be nice to know what it might be, but did it really warrant a quarter of the video's runtime? Okay, so not as much in video 3, but as of now, they're basically emulating all ghost hunting shows without the Travel Channel film equipment. Like if the Ghost Adventures team were all a bunch of teenagers who are actually in their mid-20s and early 30s. Look, I've acted silly and spontaneous like this too in my past. But I guess when looking at the ghost shows that they're emulating, they really aren't that much better or different.
Ooh.
Are you okay?
You heard it. I heard it. It was right in there.
Well, it was weird because it was happening right after I said it.
Okay, this was strangely compelling. Maybe getting rid of that tacky background music helped improve the quality and pacing of the video. Imagine that.
What? I've never seen a picture do that.
Ew. Why does Ryland's face look different? Wait.
Ew.
I don't know, maybe you should check your shutter speed, filmmaking 101. One thing I'll give the end section of the video here is the pacing and the payoff. The music at least shows up at the right time. And I mean, if the ghost shows they're emulating give us
Meaning, fire, and music.
what should we expect here?
Alright, let's go.
Elevator screen.
Wait, it says right here, ghost sighting.
Here they are on the original second class foyer on Promenade Deck, just a few decks above where we were originally on B Deck. Wouldn't hurt if they did a little bit of research and mentioned that, you know?
It's that same light. It literally looks.
Oh my god! You spooked us out, sorry.
No goals. That was no goals.
Also, this is a really funny captured moment, and I love it.
It's not even 10 p.m. yet.
The last and final episode has them actually meeting with a tour guide, and they do some true mainstream cable TV style ghost hunting stuff. I, for one, can't wait. Okay, I do not blame Shane. Okay, I do not blame Shane. I keep saying Shane. Speaking of that, how? Okay, fine.
A rampart of a ship, long as a street and lofty as a tower, ready to glide in thunder from the slip and shear the sea with majesty of power. I long to see you leaping to the urge of the great engines rolling as you go.
It's just a bunch of shelves, but it feels really weird.